Today we're testing a Jeep, and it's a Jeep unlike any Jeep ever built. This Jeep doesn't go off-road. It had to happen. Jeep has been lured by the popularity explosion of on-road wagons which look like off-roaders but rarely set foot beyond the bitumen. You know the type, Honda CR-V, RAV4, that kind of thing. That's right, here's the Jeep you have when all you really need is a Corolla wagon. And that doesn't sit well with me. Jeep's a legendary brand that built its reputation in the Rubicon Trail. You know, a 22-mile off-road track in North America with boulders the size of Jeeps that pummel lightweight four-wheel drives into dust. Heck, Jeep uses the Rubicon to develop its vehicles. Every Jeep is trail rated. Until now, that is. So by giving up any pretense of off-road ability, it seems to me like Jeep's given up the one area where this car could have stood apart from its competitors. So what that means is the Jeep's got to be more reliable than a Toyota, more practical and more refined than a Honda CR-V, and better value than both. So speaking of money, this Jeep is actually on the money. It's about 33 grand this one. You can get a luxury model for about 36. But this base car has everything you'd need. It's got electric windows, we've got a CD player, we've got air conditioning and cruise control. And on the safety front, 6 airbags should be enough. And as for the engine, this car comes with a 2.4 litre 4-cylinder engine, which quite frankly couldn't pull an oversized jumper off a half-starved supermodel. Which reminds me, don't you reckon this car looks a bit that way from the outside? It's almost like the clothes are too big for the body. But back to this engine, which makes Mark Philippoussis look like an overachiever. It is not very powerful and it is bloody noisy. It really sounds awful. Now half the reason it sounds so bad is because it's hooked up to a CVT. And instead of having gears, you get this one infinite ratio. But instead, all you end up with is one infinite awful noise. Now I don't mean to be merciless about Jeep's efforts here. After all, it's not easy to design an entirely new car from the ground up. But it's pretty clear to me that their suspension guys are far better at off-road tuning than they are at on-road. But I've got to admit, it is plenty roomy inside. I mean, I've got heaps of room in here, good driving position, even though there's not the adjustability I need on the steering wheel. And the back seat's pretty good for head and leg room too. The boot, however, is a different story. That's just an average effort there, and it's not as big as some of its competitors. So effectively what Jeep's done, if you like, has built a really good compact four-wheel drive for 10 years ago. It's not up to modern standards. And as far as I'm concerned, it's about as useful and desirable as a compass in a room full of magnets. But hey, we live in an age when Porsche can build an off-roader, so who's to say that Jeep can't have a go at a soft-roader? But that doesn't mean that I have to like it.